Hi, it's me, Richard, and this is my vlog. Actually, it's my first vlog. I'm living in Warsaw, and Warsaw isn't really a place that you think of as being beautiful, but it has its pockets of stunning beauty. So I thought that today, as this is my first vlog, we could go off into the park. Okay, this is my street, Alea Szucha. It's it's the street of the central government. You have the Ministries of Education, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you have the Prime Minister's office, you have the Vatican Embassy, you have the Ukrainian Embassy, you have the Office of Anti-Corruption, which is a very small building just down here on the right. So we're coming to the entrance of the Łazienki Park. The thing about it is that it's on a hill, so we're entering at the top of the hill, and then there's an escarpment going down. Got him? So it's a nice place to sit, isn't it, for eternity around here? You can see behind me all these wonderful trees and avenues and the shade. That's the great thing, the shade. Park should be shady. You know, without shade, what is a park? This is a great place to see the park because we're high up, and through the trees you can see the drop of the land. Well, we've got the early bird tourists here, but we're surrounded by copies of the emperors of Rome. There's Vespasian, there's Pompey, he wasn't an emperor, it's true, but they're all here. It's a little bit like the Villa Borghese in Rome, isn't it? Well, you know that, there are busts everywhere of the emperors. But in the summer they have concerts in the Orangery. It's a really nice place to visit. Most of the statuary that's in there is either copy or not very good examples, but nonetheless worth seeing. And what's great about this place is just the atmosphere, though, isn't it? Can you feel it? Well, I'm standing in front of the Summer Palace itself. It's called the Palace on the Water. I'm just amazed, you know, there's 5 years ago, this park would have been fairly empty at this time of the morning on a Sunday morning. Now it's full of tourists, and it's not just Poles. There are tourists from all over the world. Peacocks. I used to have peacocks at home. They make one hell of a noise in the morning, you know. You don't really want to live with a peacock. I came here running the other day for the first time in years. It's easy because you run down the hill, and that's not too much effort. But then you start running through the park, and that's not too much effort either because it's flat. But honestly, I haven't been running for about, really 20 years. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. I guess it is how much?
Well, originally this was built as an amphitheatre. And what a place. I mean, look, there's the theatre over there, there's the water in between to keep you cool, of course, and there's the amphitheatre just behind me. Nowadays, of course, it's used for wedding photographs or picnicking, but occasionally they put on an opera here or they put on a play, and honestly, I can think of nothing better to do on a summer's evening than to come to the opera. Great acoustic, by the way. I think we'll try it. It's great because it's like a sort of ruin, a classical ruin, which is the whole theme of this park. I mean, it's classical, isn't it? But so informal and easy to be in. Comfortable. It's a very comfortable place, this park. And you know, if you come in the week, this is Sunday, if you come in the week, there's hardly anybody here. So if you're like me, you can just feel that you own the place, which is great. Now, what is this that is looming out of the darkness? Oh, it's a Chinese pagoda. Well, actually, I have to say that this is one of the places that I really dislike. I've got a feeling this has been done on the cheap. And these horrible lanterns. You see somebody's taken a bit of a lantern home with them, or maybe it just fell off. It looks as if things fall off, don't they? Because that one's lost its tassels as well, and one of theirs lost its tassels. What I really like doing is I love touching. Actually, it's a very good feel. It's like a massage, actually. Oh, I could get into this. Anyway, so I think enough of the Chinese garden. Let's go off and get ourselves a cup of coffee. Well, this isn't much good, is it? It's fully booked, so I'm not even going to be able to get a drink here. Up on the hill there's the presidential palace. It's called the Belvedere, the beautiful view. And indeed it has a very beautiful view. I don't think you can see it now. The view, until very recently, was completely free. But a couple of years ago they built this tower block behind it, which is the first tower block that impinges on the park. And it's a bit... well, it's good and it's bad. I mean, I'll tell you why. Because on one hand, if the building wasn't there, you'd think we're in the middle of the country. How beautiful. But having the building there, you remember the city, and maybe it's a good thing that you remember that this paradise is surrounded by a city. Okay, well, the concert hasn't yet started, but the crowds are coming, so I think I'm going to get a place to sit. As you can see there, where the lady's standing, there's this big statue next to it. That's Chopin sitting under the willow tree. Soul of Poland. There I go, I'm going to find a place in the shade.